Heroically overcoming the impossible. Your personal resources are the only ones that count, ever. Even the people who love you with all of their heart and soul cannot come all the way into the places where the seeds of your suffering lie and fix problems for you. Only you can go there. This makes the inner journey a solitary one and especially poignant. The poignancy marks this leg of the journey as significant. It gives meaning. Self-sufficiency is a tool for rising above all suffering. Establishing awareness with your self-sufficient inner hero or heroine creates a context to overcome impossible odds and impossible situations. The hero archetype ultimately saves you from suffering. When we talk about archetypal forms in the context of energy healing, we are referencing regions of the causal body where the laws of nature responsible for manifesting this world begin. The hero or heroine archetype carries such an important responsibility. The job of the hero is to face the impossible alone. Aloneness represents being separate from divine being. Separation from being is ultimately responsible for the presence of impossible problems in the first place. In truth, we are never separate from divine being, and nothing is impossible. Separation arises from the weakness of form as a vessel for divinity. As soon as a form is found to be weak, that form itself begins to evolve. But in the critical moment, when the form is found to be weak, before the evolution begins, suffering can arise. There is a gap at this point in the manifestation process. Like the gap between the absolute and the finest relative at one end of the spectrum of density, here is another gap. This gap is at the surface of expression. From the gap between the weakness of form and the refinement of that form, darkness can come forth. From the gap between the absolute and the finest relative, all blessings, light, and healing emerge. From the other gap, darkness emerges. Laws of nature oversee this process. The darkness is unfounded. It emerges from something like a glitch in the material field. It can't hurt you if you refuse to identify with the weakness of form. Personal identification with the darkness is responsible for suffering. Here is the key point. Divine being is moving as fast as possible to refine and evolve physical form so that it reflects divinity perfectly. However, due to the nature of the physical form, the body and the nervous system, we experience time as a linear unfoldment of moments. In this linear unfoldment, there is a before and an after regarding physical evolution. It is right in this gap that suffering has the potential to creep in. This healing session is awakening your ability to see this mechanism and establish your ability to stay fast to divinity. Clearing habits, memory patterns, and impressions of identifying with the weakness of the material world from the 4 dense levels of the body. In the ancestral archive, the truth is being received. Your ancestors are being blessed again and again with waves of wisdom regarding their personal, individual relationship with divine being. In each point of life's story, when the ego is identified with weakness, the truth of divinity's presence is being received. There is a nice, stable matrix, which is an astral form, establishing itself right in this gap at the surface of expression. This is the 112-point matrix, an ever-present reminder of the source of creation within all things. The key is to never lose the direct connection to the source of creation. Just like the hero, in the moment of his greatest need, he remembers his connection to the source of creation and thus accesses the resources to overcome the impossible. The connection to divine being provides access to infinite resources. Infinite resources come forward to promote solutions to any problem or challenge. There isn't just one solution to a problem. There are infinite good solutions to any problem. The critical moment for the hero is a shift in perspective. The experience of being alone as an expression of separation from divine being shifts into being alone as the most intensely intimate connection to divine being. One comes into divine presence as one's own essential self. This shift is supremely delicate and absolutely critical for navigating the gap at the surface of creation and gaining victory over darkness. The transformation of perspective takes place in the intellect first. A leap of understanding allows logic to support the idea that one is facing problems solo in order to have the freedom to be in a completely natural state. Being completely alone strips the soul of what others think, judgments, expectations, assumptions, etc. This condition allows for the unencumbered entrance into the field of absolute being. All that you have done well and all that you have done wrong in your life comes to the door of infinity in the simplest terms. All life experiences are the action of divine being through you. Being wanted to experience what you experienced in this lifetime. Whatever that was, the details are only important between you and your source. This transformation informs the ego or the sense of self. There is no good and bad. There is only what is present. It has shape and form. The form is not perfect, but is evolving. From an individual perspective, this is all that we actually have to go on. You are here, and you are becoming your best self. No other option bears value from a cosmic perspective. The ego is aligned to receive this. Nature will not put up any barriers or limitations for you to embrace this truth. Embracing this truth is safe and supported by the source of creation. That critical moment when the soul in its most essential form comes to the divine in purity and humility is the moment when the whole dynamic of the course of life shifts. This moment, in its finest, subtlest expression, is dipping into the ocean of silence again and again. It is the critical moment of all moments within the context of the entire human lifetime. Nothing else carries as much significance as this one moment. It becomes the defining moment that holds all others within its scope. It is the ultimate letting go, oscillating in and out of the ocean of being, this experience of shifting from being separated to being intimately connected is gaining integrity in the gap. Some kind of massive forgiveness is coming out of this oscillation. Your soul is being washed clean. This forgiveness is rising to meet centuries of self-hatred, sin, impossible situations, and suffering. The washing of the soul is a natural gift of a healthy relationship between the individual and the source of creation. You don't have to do anything to make this relationship happen. It already exists. May it continue to bless and bless as long as you live. Thank you for being with me.